In this episode of 10 Best Ones, we are going to check out the top 5 best laptops in 2018. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability and more. If you want to see the price and find out more information about these laptops, you can check out the links down in the description and the comment section below. Okay, so, let's get started with the video. At number 5, we have the ASUS VivoBook F510UA. The ASUS VivoBook is an affordable yet powerful mid-range priced laptop that would be a really good option if you're a student who is looking for quality without paying a large amount of money. From a design perspective, this model has a compact and thin construction with a glossy coating that mimics an aluminum, even though it is mostly plastic, which is surely a nice touch since it makes it looks premium. The connectivity ports include 2 USB 2.0 ports, 1 USB 3.0 port and an HDMI port, which is cool for your student work because it will be easier for you to connect to your smartphone and other devices while the laptop is working. In addition, the keyboard has a decent amount of key travel, and according to the users it is responsive and comfortable to type on. However, my only remark is that it is not backlit. On the other side, the touchpad is highly responsive as well, and what I really like about it is the presence of a fingerprint sensor that is located on the top right corner on the touchpad, due to the fact that it will add a layer of security so no one, except you, would be able to use the laptop. But now, let's talk about the performance. The VivoBook integrates an Intel Core i5-8250U processor, 8GB of RAM, 1TB HDD, but you can also get the other version which includes a 128GB SSD, but keep in mind that it costs a bit more. The current specs are more than good for your student work, so you can have multiple documents and apps running in the background without noticing even a slight decrease in terms of the performance. Moving on, this unit also has a 15.6-inch, anti-glare IPS display with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels, and what's interesting about it is that it is actually a nano-edge display with an 80% screen-to-body ratio, so you will have an excellent view regardless of what you're doing. Finally, the battery life can handle up to 5 hours of usage, which is enough for your college-related purposes, but of course, you can always take an advantage of the charger if you require more. To conclude, the ASUS VivoBook deserves your attention because it performs really good for its price. Moving on, at number 4, we have the Apple MacBook Pro. The 15.4-inch MacBook Pro is a versatile, high-end laptop that was specifically designed to fulfill the requirements of different kind of customers, so let's find out what makes this laptop such a great option. From a design perspective, this particular model sports an exceptionally thin and lightweight, all-metal unibody construction that is accompanied by a 15.4-inch screen, a touch bar which will significantly enhance your productivity and navigation between menus, as well as stereo speakers that will exclude you from the need to use external ones because of their quality. In terms of connectivity ports, this unit has 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports which will offer you a maximum throughput of 40 GB per second when you use it with compatible devices and a headphone jack, so you will be fully backed up with everything needed. When you open the lid, at the bottom, you will instantly notice the large Force Touch trackpad which is unbelievably responsive, while slightly above, there is the handsome-looking, black-colored keyboard that has a second-generation butterfly mechanism, which by default means that all of your keystrokes are going to be registered instantly and accurately. Now, let's talk about the features. This particular model is powered by a 6-core, Intel i7 processor, has 16 GB of RAM and 512 GB SSD, which is absolutely overwhelming due to the fact that these specs will guarantee you a blazing fast performance. Moving on, the 15.4-inch Retina LED backlit display uses the IPS technology and has a maximum resolution of 2880 by 1800 pixels, so you will always see consistent colors regardless of your viewing position. I would also like to add that users are mostly using this laptop for professional usage such as graphics design, video editing and of course casual usage, thanks to its powerful hardware and vivid display. Last but not the least, the battery life may last around 10 hours of usage, which is more than a typical working day, so you wouldn't have to worry if you've forgotten the charger. Overall, if you're looking for an all-purpose laptop, then this would be your ideal option. Next up, at number 3, we have the Lenovo Yoga 920. The Lenovo Yoga 920 is a 2-in-1 laptop that is oriented towards those who require a laptop that can dramatically improve their productivity, due to the fact that it combines a stunning design with a powerful hardware. From a design perspective, the Yoga 920 features an attractive, convertible platinum-silver body that holds a vivid 13.9-inch screen which is supported by 2 flexible hinges that will let you use the laptop in different modes, and a classy lid, keyboard, and touchpad, so when you see it as a whole, it looks and means business. Moving on, the connectivity ports aren't many but they are useful, or to be more precise, you can find 2 USB-C ports, single USB 3.0 port with Thunderbolt, power delivery and DisplayPort support, as well as an audio and mic combo jack, so you will be equipped with everything needed. I would also like to add that this unit comes with a backlit keyboard, that has a decent key travel which I particularly like because doing business stands for working late, and since this is a backlit keyboard, you won't have troubles while typing. In addition, the touchpad has a smooth surface which will register every swipe you make across the surface, so both of them are really good. But now, let's talk about the performance. This particular model comes with an i7 8550U processor, 16GB of RAM, a 1TB SSD, and an Intel HD Graphics 620, so when you combine them, it means that the chances of lags are set to the lowest level. Moreover, this unit has a 13.9-inch 4K IPS 10-point multi-touch display that is one of the biggest highlights about this laptop, and since it is convertible, it means that you will see a consistent color accuracy from virtually any angle. Before we end, I'd like to mention that the battery life can last up to 11 hours, but as you already know, this may vary upon your usage. To conclude, I strongly recommend you consider the Yoga 920, and if you ever decide to purchase it, you will never regret that decision. Moving on, at number 2, we have the Huawei MateBook X Pro. The Huawei MateBook X Pro is among the best laptops on the market, and users are constantly purchasing it mainly because of many reasons, but one of the biggest is its sharp 2K display and impressively beautiful look that reminds me of a MacBook. From a design perspective, this particular model sports a space gray, machined aluminum body that is highly portable due to the fact that its crafting components make it extremely lightweight. Once you open the lid, you will find a water-resistant keyboard that houses a fingerprint reader of which you can always take an advantage in order to access the system without setting a password. In addition, the keys are soft and offer a fantastic feedback, so you will never have any problems while typing. However, my only remark is that it isn't backlit, and I do really think that Huawei should have considered this. Slightly below the keyboard, there is a large, highly responsive touchpad on which you can always rely, since it is capable enough to drastically ease your navigation. Moreover, the connectivity ports are composed of 2 USB-C ports, a headphone jack, an HDMI port and a VGA port, which is pretty good. Now let's talk about the features. This particular model is armed with an Intel Core i5 processor, has 8GB of RAM and 256GB SSD, which means that you can have dozens of apps running at the same time without noticing even a slight difference in terms of the performance. Another great thing about this laptop is its 13-inch, 2K IPS display that is accompanied by a 4.4mm narrow bezel that offers 88% screen-to-body ratio, so the visuals you see will be nearly perfectly defined. For your information, the display is protected by a Corning Gorilla Glass as well, which I particularly like since it can dramatically strengthen its protection, so scratches and accidental drops would never worry you again. Before we end, I'd also like to inform you that the battery is rated at 8 hours of usage, however, this may vary in practice. But nonetheless, it is pretty good. Overall, the Huawei MateBook X Pro is worthy of considering, so give it a try and assure yourself of its quality. And finally, at number 1, we have the Acer Predator Triton 700. The Triton 700 is a spectacular, ultra-thin gaming laptop that is currently one of the best if not the best in the market because it has everything that guarantees a fully immersive gaming experience. From a design perspective, the Triton 700 has an aggressive, all-black aluminum construction that houses flexible but rigid hinges, 2 ultra-thin all-metal Aeroblade 3D fans that will ensure a quiet operation, 2 powerful built-in speakers and an RGB mechanical keyboard for which we will talk more in the following sections. In addition, on the left flanks of the chassis, you can find two USB 3.0 ports, a microphone jack, headphone jack, one USB 2.0 port, and a Kensington lock, while on the right, there is a USB 3.0 port, Thunderbolt 3 port, an RJ45 port, and a power button, but you can also find DisplayPort, a DC input and an HDMI port on the rear, which is more than good. When it comes to the keyboard, well, it is extremely responsive, and since you can tailor the lighting, it means that you can have truly enjoyable gaming marathons. Unfortunately, the touchpad is a bit strangely positioned, since it is positioned underneath the display, so I personally dislike it. However, as you know, gaming on a laptop is a bit hard, so I'd suggest you take an advantage of your external mouse. But now, let's talk about the performance. This unit is equipped with an i7 7700HQ processor, 32GB of RAM, 512GB SSD and GeForce GTX 1080 with 8GB of onboard memory, which is perfect due to the fact that you will always have stable FPS while gaming. Another great thing about this laptop is the 15.6-inch Full HD G-Sync display that has a refresh rate of 120Hz, so your games will be extremely defined, will look natural, and you will never deal with screen tearings for your ultimate experience. Before we end, I'd like to inform you that the battery life is short, which is pretty normal considering its components and screen, but you can always plug it to your charger, so you will be fine. To conclude, you should seriously consider the Triton 700, because it is capable enough to enhance your gaming experience like you've never previously tasted. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked this video. If this video was helpful to you, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future, and if you have any questions related to these laptops, you can leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.